Yo. What the fuck? Alright guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, man. So today, Dern versus Jan just happened. I'm gonna get to that in a bit, but first I want to talk about Dana White's Contender Series, more specifically Bo Nickal. Goes right into guillotine, bro, and this transition is beautiful. Like, bro, look at that transition to a triangle. It's so beautiful. Like, it's crazy. Then he hooks the foot, or the leg, excuse me. Bro, perfect. It was crazy shit. Also, the wildest thing is we know that Bo Nickal, incredible wrestler. I heard someone say that he's only been doing MMA for like 2 years, and for him to be looking this good. This fight is also on UFC's official YouTube page, so if you go check out the full fight, it's only like a minute long. Like, it's really quick, but on there you can see that Bo's actually striking as well as obviously wrestling. Like, he got the submission, but leading up to it, he was throwing, he looked good striking as well. But the biggest reason why I wanted to even talk about the Contender Series is because I honestly think this is a genius way for the UFC just to get the best talent like in the world. I think this is a genius move just to recruit new fighters, or even the best fighters, because before the best thing would probably be the Ultimate Fighter, but that just seems like you're doing a lot. Like, you have to stay in one house with all these other fighters. You don't have access to your phone, you don't have access to the real world, and you're stuck with all these people that you're expected to fight, and it's basically like a drama show, and then you just fight after. I feel like I think people in general really don't want to be stuck in a house, especially if you have to fight someone who's like a few doors down. Like, I think that's just doing a lot. Now with the Contender Series, what I love that the UFC is doing, or I guess Dana White's doing, from the Contender Series, they sign a bunch of people, which, I mean, it's been a lot more people than before. And with that does come some gray area of, like, there's a bunch of people who aren't that good, and when they first debut in the UFC, you realize, okay, they're just kind of trash. They just somehow slipped in. But then also what's crazy is that the whole Contender Series, it's super fast paced. So you just see all these fights. So you basically just see all of these fights really quickly. You get to see who's incredible, who's really good, who's not. Then when you sign a bunch of people who at least they look like they have potential, what happens is you're gonna just get the cream of the crop. Like, literally in my last video, I was talking about Raul Rosas Jr., the 17-year-old who just signed with the UFC. Sean O'Malley's also come through the Contender Series. There's so many other fighters that have come through there. I also think it's just a lot easier to become a star when he just the first time people see you and you're just winning, like back to back, just killing all these dudes. Like, immediately it's a lot easier to have a fan base. It's a lot easier to have a fan base, and then you also don't have to go through a whole season of the Ultimate Fighter. You just fight 3 times, 4 times, whatever it is, and you leave with the contract to the UFC, man. Now, that being said, fighter pay that's a completely different video. And I mean, I know for a fact Bo Nickal is probably gonna be getting the same pay some other random dude is getting from the Contender Series, but definitely doesn't have the name, which is very fucked up. But like I said, that's a different video about fighter pay. But I mean, from a business standpoint, it makes so much sense. Like, you're getting such a huge profit. Like, think about it. You're getting the cream of the crop, or the potential cream of the crop, getting all these people to come through, fight like 3-4 times, and you either just give them a contract or not. Like, it's that simple. Whereas Ultimate Fighter, you have to record the whole thing. You have to get a house first of all. You have to make sure that all these dudes are chill. You have to make sure everyone's calm. There's no fights breaking out. You have to make sure the coaches are there. Like, there's so much more invested into the Ultimate Fighter. Whereas this, you're like, okay, even if we sign this dude and he turns out to be trash, who cares? We're not, like, again, fighter pay, but we're not paying him that much. Like, you're not invested that much. Whereas Ultimate Fighter, I feel like you're investing so much more money into that. With the Contender Series, you just get a star really quickly. You could be like, bro, like Raul Rosas Jr., Bo Nickal, they, like, the way they fought, especially in the Contender Series, you're like, yo, these dudes are gonna be legit. The business aspect, and also the way they've been advertising the Dana White Contender Series, super fire. But yeah, man, let's hop on to Dern versus Jan. Fight night happened today as I'm recording. I'm gonna start off with this fight: Sadiq Yusuff versus Don. Shaynis. Honestly, I kind of forgot there was a fight night. So the first fight I actually watched was this one, and I'm so happy I tuned in. This fight only lasted 30 seconds, but it was crazy the whole 30 seconds. Like, just starting off the fight, Sadiq was just throwing knees, and there were heavy knees. Don was trying to just punch him in the body, wasn't really doing much, you could tell, but the knees were crazy. Also, Dominic Cruz kept saying on the broadcast, he's like, yo, watch the front choke, watch the front choke. Sadiq likes to do the guillotine, the front choke. And what do you know? Like, yeah, like around that 25 second mark, whatever, Sadiq gets the guillotine, throws up guard, gets a quick tap, 30-second sub. Crazy fight. Then I'm gonna skip this fight just because Ronnie kind of just dominated throughout the whole thing. It is a very dominant win. I'm gonna jump to this fight. Randy Brown, aka Touch and Go, versus Francisco Trinaldo. First off, Randy Brown, the way he's been marketing himself, he's done like basically the Sean O'Malley route, where I know he's on Twitch, he's on YouTube, he has a podcast, he has all this content out. So even though he's not even ranked. I'm pretty sure he's not ranked. Hopefully after this fight he might get the ranking. But you know, as of right now, Randy Brown isn't ranked, but dude's an absolute beast. Francisco Trinaldo, obviously a vet. I believe he's like 44 years old. He's like, Paul Felder was calling the fight. He's like, yo, Francisco doesn't look a day older than they fought. So, and I mean, honestly, this was a great fight. If you guys get the chance to watch it, great fight. Honestly, it's a lot closer than I thought it would be. I thought Randy Brown would absolutely destroy him. And I would say like the first 2 rounds, he looked amazing. Like, his striking was great. I think the second round, it was a bit closer. But even in that round, Randy Brown looked great. He just seems a lot looser, a lot smoother. The way he fights honestly reminds me a lot of Israel Adesanya, just using their length. And it's super dope to see. Francisco, on the other hand, vet, absolute vet. Like, third round, he won the third round, which is crazy. Like, his jiu-jitsu is great. Randy Brown off of his back, his jiu-jitsu was really good. Like, his defensive jiu-jitsu was amazing, which actually surprised me a lot. I didn't think he would be that good, but yeah, but like, he was threatening the triangle, threatening a whole bunch of stuff, so Francisco couldn't really do shit, except just kind of have position. Overall, super dope fight. Love to see Randy Brown fight again. Hopefully he gets his ranking. Hopefully he's in the top 15 and gets a ranked opponent. I would love to see him against anyone ranked. But yeah, man, that's that fight. And then finally, we got the main card, Mackenzie Dern versus Jan. Bro, honestly, this fight was crazy because you knew the second it was on the ground, Mackenzie Dern would be an absolute beast. And standing, Jan would kill her. And that's literally what happened. It's basically what I was expecting. Anytime Mackenzie Dern got a takedown, she would kind of just dominate on the ground. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. Like, even in the 5th round, she almost got an armbar, like, last second. That shit was wild. Like, the fight as a whole, super entertaining, super dope fight. Mackenzie Dern's jiu-jitsu, still ridiculous. But Jan's just an absolute beast. Like, she defended the takedowns perfectly. Even last round with the armbar, she got her arm out. It was a super dope fight. I'm super excited to see how much better Mackenzie Dern gets because her jiu-jitsu is crazy. She was also like, and then she's also getting coached by Jason Perillo, who used to be Bisping's coach. He is currently also Chito Vera's coach. So you could see that she's definitely improved her striking as well. So yeah, man, I'm excited to see what happens next with them. So yeah, man, that was a quick little video about the Contender Series, the business of the UFC, which I find super interesting. We talked about the fight night tonight with Mackenzie Dern versus Jan. But yeah, man, with that, be sure to check out all the links in the description. At least it's something I do. But yeah, man, with that, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'm out.